Hello there, welcome back to the show, and today I'm going to be talking professional wrestling, and more specifically, I'm going to be booking AEW's All In 2024 pay per view. Now, Double or Nothing is taking place this weekend, and Double or Nothing this year will mark the 5-year anniversary of AEW. And it's kind of funny because I remember when I attended NXT Takeover Toronto in 2019, I attended the Fan Access event that took place before the show, and and I was waiting in the line to meet one of the wrestlers. I believe it was Shinsuke Nakamura, and I was talking to a few of the people in the line, and one of them told me that AEW will be out of business within 5 years, and well, here we are, 5 years later, and they're still in business. So, I'm booking All In because it is essentially AEW's biggest show, taking place in Wembley Stadium and has the biggest attendance. I do remember coming across a report last year saying that AEW All In was going to be their version of WrestleMania. Uh, Frankly, I don't know if that would necessarily be the case, but we'll see. In any case, let's get straight into this. So, starting off with the 0 hour, I'm booking two championship matches. First, for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, Wheeler Yuta defending against Zack Sabre Jr. This, I feel like, kind of sells itself. The Ring of Honor Pure Championship, pure wrestling. Zack Sabre Jr., one of the best technical wrestlers in the world today, also from the UK, so that hometown crowd. Wheeler Yuta, I know that he's been out with injury for the entirety of this year, so if he is able to make a recovery, I would love to see him back on TV. I'm a big fan of the Blackpool Combat Club and loved what he was doing with Moxley and Danielson, and I do miss seeing the four of them on TV together. And the second match I'm booking on the pre-show is for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. Undisputed Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett defending against House of Black, represented by Buddy Matthews and Brody King, and Red Dragon, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. Kyle O'Reilly is a great wrestler. Do not get me wrong. He is amazing in the ring, but I don't think he's got the charisma to carry himself as a credible singles or upper mid card star. I do think him and Bobby Fish were a great tag team, and if I'm Tony Khan, I would re-sign Bobby Fish, reform Red Dragon, and have them go after Undisputed Kingdom. That's what I would do. So that's how I would book the 0 hour. All right, on to the main card. First, Jack Perry versus Sammy Guevara. Two of the four pillars. And two of the four pillars were definitely like in the bottom half. Like the way I would rank them is MJF, Darby Allin, Sammy, and then Jack Perry. That's how I would rank them. And I do think a match to showcase what these two guys can do would be beneficial to both of them. Jack Perry returning and being paired with the Elite was absolutely the right call when he came back. I do know that Sammy is currently suspended because of the concussion protocol botch after that match with Jeff Hardy. So when he comes back, I'm gonna be honest, I do know that he was paired with Jericho and they were doing their thing, but I'm gonna be honest, with Jericho being heel and they were initially babyface when Sammy left, I don't like the idea of like them turning on each other. This will be like what, the third turn between these two guys in the span of a year. So I think if Sammy comes back, just have them aligned and maybe not directly involved with the Jericho Vortex, maybe having do his own thing, but he's still friendly to Jericho, so that's what I would do. I would book this as a nice showcase match, showing what both guys can do in the ring. Both are really good, and both can definitely hype up the crowd. Up next, I would book a tag team match, Chris Jericho and Big Bill versus Mark Briscoe and Daniel Garcia. Jericho and Bill have this learning tree thing, and I don't want to see something start and then get ended weeks down the road. Let's actually have this be a proper payoff. Um, Mark Briscoe and Daniel Garcia. I know this seems like an oddball pairing, but my rationale behind this, okay, you've got the learning tree. Daniel Garcia was part of the Jericho Appreciation Society, and the way I'm coming at this from is, man, wouldn't it be awesome if Daniel Garcia pins Chris Jericho at Wembley at All In, like building him up as one of the future stars of AEW. And I could also see this coming in another way, because the AEW championship scene is so saturated right now, and Mark Briscoe being the Ring of Honor World Champion is gonna need challengers, and Chris Jericho as a former Ring of Honor World Champion, he can do something like, hey, I'm a former Ring of Honor champion, and I'm gonna lobby for my protege Big Bill to be a future challenger for Mark Briscoe. That is something that could happen down the road. And finally, Bryan Danielson versus Nigel McGuinness. This is a long shot. It really is. However, Bryan Danielson did say that he wants to end his career by the summer of this year, or at least wind down his career. After this, he'll be wrestling on more of a part-time on-call schedule. And one of his greatest rivals in his career was Nigel McGuinness. And it's been speculated for like months with the trash talking that McGuinness is doing in the ring. Oh, could we possibly see an in-ring return from Nigel McGuinness? And we've got Danielson versus McGuinness one-on-one at Wembley Stadium at All In. Like I said, this is a long shot, but would be pretty cool to see. And now on to the championship matches of the night. First of all, fatal four-way match, 2 out of 3 falls for both the Women's World and the TBS Championships. Toni Storm as the Women's World Champion versus Mercedes Moné as the TBS Champion versus Thunder Rosa versus Jamie Hayter. Fatal four-way match, 2 out of 3 falls. First fall is for the TBS Championship. Second fall is for the Women's World Championship. I got this idea from WWE actually, because I do know that at one of the WrestleManias they booked a triple threat match where it was Kurt Angle and he was defending the European and the Intercontinental Championships. And the first fall was for one title and the second fall was for the other title. Same situation. Here, first fall will be Mercedes defending the TBS Championship. Second fall will be Toni Storm defending the Women's World Championship. And I think all 4 of these women are great wrestlers. I think they can really produce an amazing match with this stipulation and both women's championships being on the line. Up next, for the Unified Trios Tag Team Championships, Bullet Club Gold, Jay White, and the Guns defending against Death Triangle, Pac, Phoenix, and Penta. I love Death Triangle. I've been a fan of these guys since their inception in AEW, and I think they're a great pair. Bullet Club Gold, Jay White is amazing, but he does not belong in a trios or a tag team capacity. Jay White is a amazing professional wrestler, and he definitely should be in contention for the Continental, the TNT, the International, and the World Championships. So I would have Bullet Club Gold drop the Trios Championships to Death Triangle at All In. I know that Death Triangle did make the return to AEW television last night, confronting Bullet Club Gold. This match hasn't been announced for Double or Nothing, nor should it be. This definitely needs some build, and I think having this at All In will be an awesome thing. Pac was not booked on All In last year due to injury, which was a shame. So I'm hoping that, this year we get this match, and I think this could be one of the candidates for match of the night, because all 6 of these guys are really good. Alright, AEW Tag Team Championships. The Young Bucks versus Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. The Young Bucks are the current AEW Tag Team Champions. They're not defending them at Double or Nothing. I don't know what they do with those championships going into Forbidden Door. So I figured their next defense should be a mega match. And I think Adam Copeland and Christian Cage reuniting at All In at Wembley Stadium in front of 70 to 80,000 people. That'll be a great moment. Reuniting Copeland and Cage, however, will be a little tricky, and I hope AEW can do this right. Copeland is currently involved in a feud with Malachi Black. They have a TNT Championship match at Double or Nothing, and Christian Cage has been arguably one of the top heels, if not the top heel in all of AEW throughout the last year or year and a half. And he is challenging Swerve Strickland for the world title at Double or Nothing. And if it's me, I'd have both of them lose. I'd have Adam Copeland drop the TNT title to Malachi Black, and Christian Cage is not beating Swerve Strickland for the world championship. So I'd have both of them lose their matches at Double or Nothing. And I'd have essentially the family being Kill Switch, Nick Wayne, and Mama Wayne turn on Christian, referencing that promo that Adam Copeland cut on him leading into their match, whether it was at World's End or the match in Toronto. And I'd have him essentially, those words come to fruition, where it's like, hey, without the championship, without your power, you are nothing, and they will turn on you. And they've got all the motivation to do so. So, like I said, reuniting Copeland and Christian will be a little tricky, but it's definitely possible, and there is story there, real life best friends. So we'll see how what this can lead to. And this match, I feel, could be awesome. There will be this is awesome chance. I'm predicting it right now. And just the sight of Copeland and Christian teaming together for the first time in, 13 years? That in itself, that image will be worth it. This will be just an awesome moment, and I feel like that'll sell the fact that this is our biggest event of the year. Continental Championship, Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega. Pretty self-explanatory. After that main event promo segment of Dynamite in Winnipeg, it was like everyone was calling for this to happen at All In. Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega. Great feud and rich history between these two guys. The feud in Japan, the 7-star match, the 6.5-star match. Okada now being a member of the Elite after Omega was fired. The beatdown. There is story here, and Kenny Omega versus Okada at Wembley Stadium, I mean, it sells itself. International Championship. Will Ospreay versus Samoa Joe. Now, I know that a lot of people have been predicting that, Will Ospreay versus Swerve for the world title at Wembley, and Will Ospreay is going to be crowned the new world champion at All In. I understand where those people are coming from. Will Ospreay legitimately just got here. He's going to have all the time in the world to become the AEW world champion and possibly win the world title at All In, but I don't have that happen this year. Will Ospreay is facing Roderick Strong at Double or Nothing this weekend for the International Championship, and honestly, I'd have him win. I know that Roddy won the title back in March, and Double or Nothing is at the end of May, so not exactly a lengthy title reign. However, Will Ospreay is white hot right now, and you gotta strike while the iron is hot. Will Ospreay and Roderick Strong are incredible professional wrestlers. The two of them had great matches at Dynasty and at Revolution, and this is gonna be another great match. I would have Will Ospreay beat Roderick Strong and become the new international champion. And he's representing the worldwide fan base of AEW, because that's what the championship represents. It represents, the international crowd. Samoa Joe was really good as the world champion. Samoa Joe is a great promo. He's a great wrestler. He has a presence about him. Samoa Joe is legit. The opening match of All In last year, Samoa Joe versus CM Punk. The crowd was chanting, Joe, Joe, Joe. That was amazing. So I think these two could produce a great match. The promos leading into this match will be great. Will Ospreay has stated that he was a fan of TNA. Samoa Joe was one of the faces of TNA. This will be a great match, and it'll help elevate the International Championship. The International Championship is essentially the working man's championship. And Will Ospreay versus Samoa Joe? I mean, take my money. Like, this will be an awesome match, and this is what I would do. TNT Championship. 6-man elimination match. Malachi Black defending against Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Konosuke Takeshita, Orange Cassidy, and Roosh. 6-man elimination match for the TNT Championship. I'd have this just be absolute carnage, no DQ, no countout, have them brawl in and around the arena, add a false count anywhere stipulation, essentially have this be Stadium Stampede, Anarchy in the arena, but without the faction and without a single pinfall winner. Have this be an elimination match and really play up that factor. And I think that would be pretty cool to see. Main event. AEW World Championship. Swerve Strickland versus Adam Cole versus MJF. MJF and Swerve Strickland had an interaction towards the end of last year, and that was setting up something. Swerve Strickland and Adam Cole had an interaction before Dynasty, leading in to the World Championship match between Swerve and Joe. There is something here. Adam Cole and MJF, the Better Than You Bebe storyline from all of last year. The build, the match at All In. There is story here. Now, granted, the reveal at World's End and everything that's been done with Undisputed Kingdom, well, almost everything with Undisputed Kingdom has kind of like fallen flat with the exception of Roderick Strong, with Cole being off of TV, but he is injured, and the Wardlow booking, which has been abysmal. So Undisputed Kingdom needs a shot in the arm right now. MJF, when he comes back, the type of character that MJF is, when he comes back, I don't think he'll want revenge against Adam Cole, no question. However, he'll want the world title, the championship that he lost. He'll want that back. I'd have Swerve be the world champion going into All In. I think him coming out in the main event as the world champion with the entire crowd doing the dance will be great. And the three of these guys are great wrestlers. And I think they can produce an incredible match together. In terms of who wins this match, that's a little debatable. I've given this some thought, and the way I would have this match end is I would have Adam Cole pin Swerve to win the world title at All In, and I would have Adam Cole versus MJF for the world championship at World's End. I don't know how we keep these guys apart through All Out, Wrestle Dream, and Full Gear, but, that'll be up to Tony Khan and the creative team to figure out. And that is how I would book All In 2024. Let me know what you thought. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.